has a role to interact with other institutions in research and education, and to extend sharing and the strengths of the voice of higher education to policymakers, governments, public and private funding agencies. COVID-19 has increased the awareness of the inequalities in resources and capacities to perform research and higher education. And recent surveys, including that performed by IAU on the consequences of COVID-19 on higher education, has paid attention to the risk of increasing inequality. This highlights the need of cohesion and cooperation between university and between universities and the society, built on global engagement and local relevance. Knowledge creation and development through basic and applied research and innovation needs cooperation on common interests, but must be built on respect and trust for each stakeholder's roles, goals, and legislations. For universities, the fundamental principle of higher education needs to be respected. Academic freedom in research and education, institutional autonomy, education built on science and or proven experience. These are values that foster skills as critical thinking, analytical competence, and creativity. Skills that, together with disciplinary knowledge, will be brought through students to the society and empowering for taking actions for a sustainable development. IAU will continue to actively engage in promoting and advocate for the key role of universities in society and realizing Agenda 2030. SDG 12 ensures sustainable consumption and production patterns, safeguards and accommodates all SDGs, and the outcome of this conference is of value for all of them. So I wish you a good and successful conference, and I'm sure looking into the program that this will be the case. So thank you very much for inviting me for presenting IAU, and again, I wish you a very good conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for those words of wisdom you have given to us. Now I wish to welcome remarks by Professor Janyong Yu, President, Dongwa University. Mr. President, Dongwa University.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Did you see me just now?
Hello. We can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay, you can hear me. Okay, great.
Can you see me? Okay. Yeah. So you are going to invite this account to speak on behalf of Ray. Ray, the president, will be speaking right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hello. Hello. Can you tell me when? Can you tell me when? Hello.
可是他听不到，
他听不到我的声音的。你现在静音了。
对呀，我先打开。
你不能你打开的话，
我打开了，可是现在是事实了，你可以去讲。Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you.
能听到吗？可以啊。
Chris, are you there? 这有点怪啊。Chris, are you there? I want you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make sure that the president will speak right here when it's his turn. Is that clear?
Yeah, it is clear. You can speak.
Hello, Professor Mingwe.
Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor Mingwe, you are live. Can you mute a bit?
Okay.
Mute a bit.
Yeah. So please tell us when our president will have to be here.
Right now. Now. This is his turn to speak.
Dear Vice Chancellor Professor Isaac Sanga Koski, Ms. Ruth Chara at World Bank, Kenya, Dr. Penn Friedman, President of International Association of Universities, the leadership of Kenya government, the leadership of Moyle University, distinguished scholars from Africa, China, and the rest of the world. Welcome to our joint conference. On behalf of Donghua University, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation for the joint efforts made by both sides in organizing this great academic event. This event is both a new endeavor and an old tradition at the same time. That is new because this is the first online version of Sino-Africa International Symposium on Textiles and Apparel, and for the first time held alongside with another big event at Moya, namely the Africa Center for Excellence in Phytochemicals, Textile, and Renewable Energy. It is older because China and Africa have always been a community with a shared future. China is the largest developing country, while Africa is the continent with the largest concentration of developing countries. Our peoples have established solid friendship between us. Africa has a rich textile history, and the Donghua University distinguishes itself by textiles. So it is the joint textile bond that turns into solid foundation of our cooperation. As a state key university in China, Donghua was selected as a member of Sino-Africa 20+20 University Cooperation Project in 2010 by virtue of its advantages in textile engineering, material science, design, etc. Donghua actively builds up the platform of China-Africa textile and apparel research as well as culture exchange. In 2015, Confucius Institute at Moya University, the first and so far only Confucius Institute featuring textile engineering and fashion design, was officially launched. In the same year, the first Sino-Africa International Symposium on Textile and Apparel was successfully held at Donghua. In 1270, the Belt and Road Advanced Seminar for Textile Industry and the International Cooperation in Production Capacity opened at Donghua. In 2018, University Enterprise jointly established the Belt and the Road Textile Education and Training Center in Ethiopia. Up to 2019, CESTA has been successfully held 5 times with 5 different themes, which attracted educators and professionals from China, Kenya, Sudan, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Uganda, and South Africa, as well as from all over the world. It's my utmost pleasure to witness all of our CESTA and SASIF conferences, fruitful achievements of talent training for African textile and apparel industry, as well as great advancements in China-Africa textile science and technology development. Africa is a geographical and a natural extension of the Belt and Road Initiative, as well as an essential participant. Forum on China-Africa cooperation, a main platform for expanding and deepening bilateral cooperation, provides so many possibilities for Africa, ranging from abundant resources and the various pathways to huge market and space to diversified development prospects. Also, this year, we all face a most challenging time during the outbreak of COVID-19. Globalization is the only solution to global issues. It can be envisioned that through this symposium, more and more scholars and entrepreneurs will join hands and explore the connotation and the effectiveness of the educational collaboration between China and Africa. Together, we will make a difference in textile and apparel education, research, and industrial liaison between China and Africa. Finally, I hope the joint conference this year a complete success and everyone has an inspiring online experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those remarks, and they are well taken. I wish now to invite the chief guest, PS, for the official opening of the virtual conference. His remarks will be read by the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Student Affairs and DVC also, Administration Planning and Development, in acting capacity, Professor Nathan Ogech. Professor Nathan Ogech is a professor of Moi University. Professor, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman and moderator of the session. As he has rightly put it, the PS is held in a meeting, but he has given us permission to read his speech, which I now wish to read as follows. Professor Isaac Sanga Kosgei, the Vice Chancellor, Moi University, Ms. Ruth Charo, Senior Education Specialist, World Bank Kenya, Dr. Pam Fredman, President, International Association of Universities, Professor Jiangjia Yu, President of Donghua University in China, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Center Leader, ACE2 Petre, Professor Ambrose Kiprop, the Chairman and members of the Conference Organizing Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed delighted to participate in this virtual international conference. I thank the Vice Chancellor of Moi University for the invitation. This conference is coming at a time when the world is going through health, economic, and social turmoil due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, which is affecting the entire world. Such challenges come with lessons to be learned. One such lesson is a realization that the world is more networked than ever before. Challenges facing one side of the world affect the entire world and need concerted effort of each and every one of us in the entire world to find possible, lasting solutions. The COVID-19 pandemic has made us learn that no nation or individual has monopoly of knowledge, and the world is always a work in progress. It has also made us learn the important roles our health professionals play in our lives. Fighting COVID-19 requires a collaborative scientific and interdisciplinary approach, ranging from efforts in developing a vaccine against it, curative and prevention measures, social distancing, and protective equipment. In this, social, biological, and physical sciences are all applied. The Ministry of Education is at the forefront in developing science, technology, and innovation through provision of research funds, which are competitively awarded to researchers. However, such funding is never enough, and to mitigate this, the ministry has provided an enabling environment for universities to seek additional funding from the global community to bridge the funding gap and ensure they are relevant insofar as education and research are concerned. I take this opportunity to thank the World Bank for the support they have given in the establishment of 3 Africa Centers of Excellence in Kenya. These include the Africa Center of Excellence in Sustainable Agriculture and Agribusiness, CESAM, at Egerton University. 2, the Africa Center of Excellence in Phytochemicals, Textiles, and Renewable Energy, ACE2 Petre at Mo University. And 3, Africa Center of Excellence in Sustainable Use of Insects as Foods and Feeds, INSEFoods, at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, also in Mo University. It is from this support that Mo University is able to offer postgraduate teaching and research in phytochemicals, textile, and renewable energy. The theme of the conference, Advancing Science, Technology, and Innovation for Industrial Growth, and the thematic areas of phytochemistry, progressive textiles, renewable energy, and transformative industrialization are relevant in realizing sustainable development goals, which are a universal call for action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure people enjoy peace and prosperity by the year 2030. A better world requires an interdisciplinary approach by including social sciences, of which this conference embraces, having incorporated Sino-Africa culture exchange, making it a 3-in-1 international conference with a high-level academic discourse and cross-cutting disciplines. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I wish to state that post-COVID-19 will require us to build new bridges in scientific cooperation and redouble our efforts in science, technology, and innovation with determination and distinction. Universities are expected to lead in this aspect. It is now my honor to officially declare the conference open and wish all the participants effective presentations and productive discussions. Thank you, Ambassador Simon Nabukwesi, Principal Secretary, State Department of University Education and Research, Ministry of Education, Kenya.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Ambassador, for those words of wisdom. and the agreeing officially to open the conference. We also wish to thank Professor Nazim Ogechi for reading his speech, well read and well represented. Thank you very much. May God bless you, Ambassador. I wish now to welcome the chair of the conference, Dr. Charin Sira, to give us an overview of the conference. Dr. Charin Sira is a doctor of engineering, School of Engineering, Moi University. Dr.
Thank you very much, Professor Isaac, our DVC, distinguished chief guest, PS Education, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Isaac Kosgei, Ms. Ruth Charo, Senior Education Specialist, World Bank, Dr. Pan Friedman, President, International Association of Universities, Professor Chiang Yong Yu, President of Donghua University, Professor Ambrose Kiprop, Center Leader, DVC's President, all protocols observed. It's my honor to present to you a brief overview of the conference, whose theme is Advancing Science, Technology, and Innovation for Industrial Growth. Science, technology, and innovation are the seedbed for development. In addition, advancing competitiveness in science, technology, and innovation is a key prerequisite to sustained industrial growth and increased standards of living. Research around science, technology, and innovation must therefore continuously realign with the global dynamics and demanding needs for industrial growth. Industries around the world continue to face different afflictions elicited by several factors, including social conflicts, economic, health, and energy crisis, leading to suboptimal operations. Since the beginning of the year, the world has been thrust deep into uncharted territory and very challenging circumstances occasioned by the emergence of COVID-19. Notwithstanding these very difficult times, the Africa Center of Excellence in Phytochemistry, Textile, and Renewable Energy, in partnership with SciStar, provides selected participants from around the world with an opportunity to showcase their research results in the inaugural ICPTRE 2020 under the theme of Advancing Science, Technology, and Innovation for Industrial Growth. Allow me to just talk briefly around the advancing science and technology and innovation. The world has experienced a variety of disruptive shocks over time. While the disruption to people and livelihoods in many developing countries is certainly not a new phenomenon, the developments in building rapid resilience and diverse capabilities in equally disruptive technologies are worth being celebrated. Therefore, science, technology, and innovation have a critical role to play in all global afflictions. The experience from developed partners and some of the most successful countries globally show that advancing science, technology, and innovation through research and well-integrated national development strategies can help raise productivity, improve industrial competitiveness, support faster growth, create jobs, and promote resilient communities. Therefore, advancing industrial growth and securing our position in the research arena is the central goal of our time. Notwithstanding the prevailing circumstances, our shared resolutions and strategic partnerships are well positioned to deliver our mutual aspirations. Today, through the SE2 PTRE and SAISTA partnership, we are taking our next step, very much aware more than ever before that any meaningful and sustainable progress in industrial growth requires humanity coming together, not as nations, but as a global community of researchers. Going to the structure of the conference, the ICPTRE 2020 is structured to offer vibrant presentations and deliberations on key STI research. The conference thematic areas include phytochemistry, progressive textiles, renewable energy, transformative industrialization, sustainable technology and innovations, in addition to science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics presentations that contribute to the aforementioned thematic areas. The conference also brings on board the Responsible Consumption and Production SDG 12 Cluster Working Group of the International Association of Universities, Higher Education for Sustainable Development Cluster. The cluster promotes the role that higher education institutions globally have to fulfill in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030. Universities are to address the SDGs, which themselves impact on and transform the universities. The cluster encourages a holistic approach to the SDGs, focusing specifically on the whole institution approach. In the course of the next 3 days, over 200 participants from around the world, including Belgium, Canada, China, Colombia, Ethiopia, France, Kenya, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and other nationalities, shall actively engage on research findings along the theme of the conference. The conference presentations will tackle diverse topics, including issues pertaining to sustainable exploitation of bio-based resources, sustainable technologies, transformative nanomaterials, accelerating the transition to a renewables-based energy system, among other topics. Besides, 9 keynote speakers will share their insights on key topical areas of the economy and shall engage with the audience and deliberate on a number of topical areas, including contract research and development, ethical issues, developing and implementing collaborative research, resilience and collaborations in pandemic times, intellectual property issues in collaborative research, as well as sustainable production and consumption. In conclusion, therefore, the conference presentations avail a unique opportunity to share knowledge, promote the actualization of several SDGs, while creating new opportunities, as well as contributing to the enhancement of livelihoods and global resilience to adverse disruptions. The world is currently united in the commitment to realize this opportunity. On behalf of the entire conference organizing team, it is my humble duty to wish all the participants the most rewarding, thought-provoking, and vibrant deliberations. Thank you very much. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Chair of the conference, Dr. Charles Nzira. You have given us the summary, the highlights of the discussion, discourse of this conference, which we shall be participating up to Friday for all of us. Thank you very much, and a sincere appreciation to everybody who has logged in and those who will continue logging in. You are welcome, warmly welcome to virtual conference, which is hosted by Moi University. We shall have health break for half an hour, and then remember to log in after 30 minutes. You may break now.
NTV, turning on your world.
Finding the truth in these uncertain times has become certain. Possibilities for business even more convenient with the Nation e-paper. To enjoy this and more, simply dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily on your mobile phone and get 50% discount on the e-paper. Yes, for just 20 shillings each, the truth will find you and more possibilities right where you are. Dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily today. Terms and conditions apply.
It is good to sensitize the public on the use of NMT on unauthorized transport facilities. Some of them are also ignorant of the fact that those facilities are meant for them. And even if they find any vehicles parked there or any other road center activities being done on those roads, they have a right to question and say that is their space and it should be left free for them to walk on.
Pata smartphone mpya kuanzia 20 bob daily pekee ukilipa mdogo mdogo. Weka down payment ya 1000. Lipa kuanzia 20 bob daily kwa miezi 9. Piga *544# kuona kama unafaulu kupata 4G Neon Ray Pro. Si hapo Safaricom ni yako kabisa.
There's no debate. Home is best. If you must pay for deliveries, use your NCBA debit card. Stay home. Stay safe.
This is NTV.
Do you need to send your parcel or document during this period? The Nation Courier Services, with over 15 years of distribution experience, will deliver it for you. We deliver to every corner of Kenya. Due to our strong distribution network, have overnight door-to-door service and same-day intra-city service with the security and safety of the client's shipment guaranteed. Your parcel is our priority. We'll deliver it for you. Contact us for delivery on courierservices@ke.nationmedia.com or call 0719 038 739.
The fans are for real. Like, they're feeling you, they'll show you they're feeling you.
I'm just grateful. So I'm just like taking every opportunity as it comes.
Through her fashion, we might end up falling in love with her music.
Being African is more of like, it's a home, it's a place, it's a feeling, you know?
Finding the truth in these uncertain times has become certain. Possibilities for business even more convenient with the Nation e-paper. To enjoy this and more, simply dial star 550 star 1 hash for Daily Nation and star 550 star 5 hash for Business Daily on your mobile phone and get 50% discount on the e-paper. Yes, for just 20 shillings each, the truth will find you and more possibilities right where you are. Dial star 550 star 1 hash for Daily Nation and star 550 star 5 hash for Business Daily today. Terms and conditions apply.
You need to watch your weight. And Dad, reduce fat in your meals and most importantly, check your weight.
You're asking me to calm down while your ex is literally kicking me out of my own house?
Welcome to this year's Slimming is Possible competition. The first task is to complete a very simple task of running 2-kilometer race.
What is going on here?
Either she leaves or I leave. You choose.
Did you know there's a laundry bar soap that can help save you time, water, and money? You save by not having to use multiple products. And you only rinse once. For a laundry soap that can help save you time, water, and money, try Whitewash Extra. Brand power, helping you buy better.
This is NTV.
Welcome back on air. We're coming to you live from Eldoret in the county of Uasin Gishu. We are at Moi University where they have just played host to the official opening of an international virtual conference by the Africa Center for Excellence in Matters, Phytochemistry, Textile and Renewable Energy for Sustainable Development. It is an international virtual conference that will be going on for the next 2 days or so, and they expect about 200 participants across the globe. So we're now joined by the Vice Chancellor of Moi University, Professor Isaac Kosgei. Asante sana, Prof, for joining us. If you could just wrap it up for us in a nutshell. Moi University, you're playing host to this virtual international conference. What are you looking to gain and to achieve as this conversation continues for the next 2 or 3 days?
Yeah, thank you, Wangoi. Today we are the opening ceremony for our international conference, which we are holding virtually. It is an international conference on phytochemistry, textile, and renewable energy. As you are aware, we are one of the centers of excellence regionally, focusing on phytochemicals, textiles, and renewable energy. This is a 3-day conference starting today and ending on Friday. And we were lucky to have our chief guest, the PS for University Education and Research, Minister of Education, Ambassador Simon Bukwesi. And we have over 200 participants taking part in this conference for the next 3 days from across the globe, Canada, from Belgium, from the People's Republic of China, and we are co-hosting this conference with the Dongwa University in Shanghai in China. And we are very happy. We have what we call the Siesta, and also what we call the SES, that is Sino-Africa collaboration. So we are actually collaborating with the Dongwa University and annually. So today, we are very lucky also to have had the representative of the World Bank, Ruth Charo, also the president of International Association of Universities, Dr. Pam, and of course we were joined by the president of Dongwa University. We are actually looking to achieve a lot in terms of innovations, focusing on phytochemicals, focusing on textiles and renewable energy. This conference shows or will showcase innovations in those 3 areas. And in particular, we are having capacity building for the region in terms of training for masters master's and PhD students. We have also interest in building community support. So we've actually got outreach programs focusing on biogas production, for example, in locally. We are having our factory, Rivertex factory, which we actually do manufacture even these face masks. And in the long term, we are trying to build capacity for communities through various ways, short trainings. Currently we are also looking at the challenges that are there. Apart from COVID, we are also looking at innovations to make sure that people create jobs instead of being job seekers. Yes.
And Prof, from how you speak, I note a lot of strategic partnerships, and we understand universities continue to play a key role when it comes to matters science and research. How are these partnerships going to improve on your theme of this particular conference, which is advancing science and technology towards industrial consumption?
Thank you, Wangoi. In terms of this project, we have actually strategic partnerships. We not only partner within the region, but also across. As I've mentioned, Dongwa University is one of them. We also collaborate with the institutions in Canada, in Belgium, and these partnerships actually play two roles in terms of building our capacity as a university, and also for this country. We also, through that collaboration, we get experts to do things like material science, for example, renewable energy training, and so on. So these partnerships actually play a key role in terms of the SDGs, what we call the Sustainable Development Goals. And we are focusing here on SDG 12, and also in terms of our Big Four agenda. That's manufacturing largely. Yes.
And lastly, my question to you, VC, before we speak to the central leader, would be, I noted in your earlier presentation that you noted there was need for collaboration with communities in times of global pandemics. That conversation could not have come at a more timely time, granted we're having a global challenge of COVID-19 disease. How does that play out during this particular conference in embracing it and also tackling it?
Yeah. Sorry, Wangoi, in terms of the challenges of COVID, what we are noticing, and this is very important, that we have actually hosting this conference virtually, meaning we are actually embracing technology to make sure that we, carry on with the new normal. And what we will get as a first experience for us in this particular conference will actually enable us and other partners to do the same. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bwana VC. That is Professor Isaac Kosgei. He's the Vice Chancellor at Moi University. Remember, Moi University is playing host to this particular conference, which is an international conference, but being held virtually in the wake of COVID-19 infections in the world, or infection spread. So just before we wind up this particular live production, we want to speak to yet another gentleman. Professor, if you could join me here. He's the center leader for Africa Center for Excellence. And thank you very much, Professor Ambrose Kiprop, for joining us. Many thanks. I think we start with what you have done today, a virtual international conference. Your experience and why you opted to go that route. Of course, we understand it is in the wake of COVID-19, but we have seen so many other meetings and conferences being cancelled. But here you are opening yours internationally and virtually. I'll just hold it.
Okay. Thank you, Lois. We want to appreciate the participants for joining us. One, we had planned to do it face-to-face, but because of the current pandemic, we complied with the government guidelines that we need to embrace online meetings and discussions. Again, we were determined to have the conference go on because our students and our researchers have been trained and they are competent in delivering even on online platforms. And one of the things that we have done is that we have engaged a number of partners. And as the VC mentioned, we have had a number of even outreach activities. And some of the outreach activities have been done even online. And among the other things that we have done as a center in terms of also assisting the government in managing this pandemic is also production of soap and detergents. Okay. And this we have been offering to the community also. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so earlier, Professor, the VC spoke to us about the strategic partnerships that you have with a number of universities and other scholars globally. We want to also understand how are you ensuring that yet another main stakeholder who is people on the ground, these communities are becoming more aware and more resilient of the changing times when it comes to photochemistry, textile and renewable energy. How are you ensuring that these persons within our communities are also becoming resilient towards the changing trends?
Yeah, thank you, Lois, for that question. As VC has earlier mentioned, we have a number of key partners that we have partnered with, and these partners are not only within the country, but also outside the country. And as a university, we have been very strategic in terms of identifying the partners to work with, and the partnership that we have is where we are all benefiting. And whenever we have had engagements with our partners, we always have a committee that is charged with working with the community. And in that kind of university industrial committee, they ensure that they incorporate members of the community. And we feel that by incorporating the members of the community in that committee allows dissemination. And we are also grateful that as a media house, as NTV, you are also assisting us in terms of disseminating what our researchers have done. And today, and as VC mentioned, ongoing until Friday, it is mainly about now disseminating our findings that we have had as researchers, of course, both as partners and our staff in the university. Yeah.
And Prof, I want to imagine it will be a busy 2-day with over 200 participants, researchers, universities, and also individual entities who are in the field of science and technology. So immediately after this particular conference, Prof, what steps will you be taking to ensure that the findings that you come up with will be collaborated into different sectors, even as the year continues to progress rather slowly, we might say, because of the global problems you have with COVID-19?
Yeah, that's a very important question. You have heard our Vice Chancellor mention and appreciating the World Bank. As a Center of Excellence, we are also charged in terms of ensuring whatever we discover in the universities, through our researches, we must ensure that it is shared. Again, as a center, and the Vice Chancellor sits in the National Steering Committee, which is chaired by the PS of University Education and Research. And in that National Steering Committee, we have a number of stakeholders we have a number of members who represent various ministries within the government. And some, of course, they are the policy makers, they are the policy implementers. So we share whatever we have found as a university, and it finds its way into implementation. Yeah, and also the VC mentioned that as a university, we are the only university that is representing the entire continent in the SDG number 12, that is on responsible consumption and production. And so we also take advantage in various platforms to share on the same.
All right.
Thank you.
Asante sana, Professor. Many thanks. And we will also be joined by Dr. Nzila. Yes, karibu sana. Thank you for joining us. Daktari, when you're just giving your remarks, you said these 2 days will be thought-provoking and interesting. What can people look forward to as this conference takes shape for the next 2 days?
Thank you very much, Luis. And thank you very much, NTV, for this opportunity to showcase our research findings through as a product of our researchers. And as you mentioned, in the next 2 days, starting from today, our researchers are going to present findings of their research. These findings are coming from across the world. We have presenters presenting results on mask production from China. We have people talking about industry contribution to research from Europe. And all these discussions...
Just ask you to face that camera as you're having a conversation
Thank you.
for better communication.
Thank you. And all these discussions will evolve around science, technology, and innovation. It's important to note that Moi University, through our Vice Chancellor, we have been enabled. We have the incubation center, where after our researchers come up with their results, they are being incubated in our incubation center, and then this can be disseminated further to the community. Also, it's important to note that globally, with the disruptions that have occurred in the world, it's important to note that some of the best products came during times of disruption. Like as we speak now, rubber is a major commodity. Synthetic rubber is a major commodity used all over the world. Synthetic rubber came into force during World War II when there was no supply of rubber. So during pandemic times, researchers are forced to go beyond their comfort zone and solve global problems. And this is what Moi University is showcasing, that yes, we are having a global pandemic, but researchers should remain in the forefront and disseminate their results and show the world that in the work of the new normal, that we can continue doing our work, and that is research.
And Dr. Nzila, I'm wondering, could you have a sneak peek of what Moi University will be offering to the conference with regards to innovation, or perhaps some counsel when it comes to this particular conference?
Yes, with regards to innovation, Moi University has got a lot of products which we will be showcasing during the conference. Like we are talking about extracts from phytochemicals, which have not yet seen the market, and these are products of our researchers, which we will be showcasing. Through Moi University partnership, as I mentioned, we have scientists from outside the world who could not be here, and they're also presenting their findings related to pandemic times. And the key thing is to push the world to move with the reality of the time. That is, we can continue working even in the work of a pandemic.
Asante sana, Daktari. Many thanks, Daktari Nzila, just giving us a perspective of what Moi University, who is the host for the Africa Center of Excellence for Photochemistry, Textile and Renovation Conference, what they will be offering. He says there's quite a lot, and I think my highlight in this particular event is that Daktari has noted that during pandemic times, innovators are very placed at a better place to offer their products and services to the world, and that is what Moi University is hosting for the next 2 days, albeit virtually, an international conference. Just look into the advancement of matters photochemistry, renewable energy, and more innovations in the science world. So Moi University will be the host for this particular international virtual conference. It will go for 2 days, and they will be hosting about 200 participants online. They note it will be thought-provoking and quite informative. Many thanks for having joined us for this live production at Moi University School of Law Annex here in Eldoret Town. For now, we go back to our usual programming. My name is Lesongoi. Good morning.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
fans are for real. Like they're feeling you, they'll show you they're feeling you.
I'm just grateful. So I'm just like taking every opportunity as it comes.
Through her fashion, we might end up falling in love with her music.
Being African is more of like, it's a home, it's a place, it's a feeling, you know?